All right, it seems like since the beginning of time, there's always been a joke that when horror movies come out, the black people always die first. But now we have an entire cast of black people in a horror movie, and it's a comedy too. This must be pretty good. Let's talk about it. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and this is just my opinion. Hey, what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Just My Opinion for the Blackening movie review. And if this is your first time finding me and you happen to like this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. All right, guys, so we have The Blackening. We Can't All Die First. I think that is the perfect poster to get your attention. This movie is rated R at 1 hour and 30 minutes, and I will say I love that already. Now, this is being directed by Mr. Tim Story, and I don't hate on Mr. Tim Story, but you know, he's okay. He's a competent director. I did not see the Tom and Jerry film that is playing next to his face, but heard nothing but horrible things. But if we just scroll down here just a little bit and look at his filmography in the past, he did also do Shaft, which was pretty good. It was decent. I liked it. Also Ride Along 2 in the first Ride Along movie. He also did the first Barbershop and the Fantastic Four movies as well. I didn't hate those Fantastic Four movies, but they weren't the best thing either. Again, Tim Story is an okay director. Now, as far as my expectations are concerned, when I first saw the trailer for this and heard about the movie, I was like, wow, that is a great idea. I really think that this can be a nice gem that most horror fans, horror comedy fans, and also black people can always hold dear to their heart. We've been joking for the longest that we always die in horror movies first, but now we're all cast in a horror movie. So I thought that was a great idea. But when it came up closer to its release, my interest level just wasn't there. I was going to skip this screening, but at the last minute, I said, you know what, let me go check out this movie. It could be pretty good, and I don't want to miss out. So before I get into all the nitty gritty, before I talk about all my likes and dislikes, let me tell you exactly what this film is all about. 7 black friends go away for the weekend and end up trapped in a cabin with a killer who has a vendetta. Will their street smarts and knowledge of horror movies help them stay alive? Probably not. Now, the first thing that I did like about this movie is the cast was pretty decent. I did recognize a few faces. That is Seneca Wall, who plays Namdi. We also have Yvonne Orji, who plays Morgan, and Jay Farrell, who plays Sean. These are actors and actresses that I have seen before in the past, and they were one of the better parts of this film. The next thing that I liked about this film is some of the jokes did land, especially in the latter half of the movie. One of the things I was going into this film to see and be a part of is some laughter, and I did chuckle a number of times in this movie. And the last thing that I liked about this film is the ending, the writing. I do have a level of respect for it. It was unexpected, but when it happened, I was like, oh, okay, I can ride with that. I can ride with that. But now, guys, that does conclude everything that I did like about this film. Now let me transition to some things that did not really work for me. And to be honest with you, that is majority of the movie. When I first walked out of this film, I did a 60-second reaction, which I uploaded to YouTube Shorts and other social media platforms. And I said to myself, guys, this movie just wasn't for me. And to be honest, it wasn't. I was really looking forward to having a good time with the black director, with an all-black cast, but I was ready to go a good 20 to 25 minutes after this film started. Now, everything is subjective because when I was watching this theater, my whole auditorium was full. It was majority black people, and there was a good, at least half of the people in the auditorium that were laughing at all of the jokes out loud hysterically, like this was the funniest thing they've ever saw. Mind you, there was a couple that was sitting right next to me. They did not like the movie at all. One of the gentlemen, he went to the concession stand. He did not come back until 30 minutes later with a whole heap of snacks. He was just like, I'm not feeling this movie. This sucks. I'm not liking the acting. None of the jokes are funny. And this is what I'm hearing them say in the middle of the movie. I'm not even bothered with them talking because I'm feeling the way they are feeling, but we have this couple right here that's kind of agreeing with me. I'm not feeling the movie, but the rest of the auditorium is having a blast. Sometimes when I feel this way, I do like to hang around in the foyer as people are coming out just to kind of see how they're feeling, what they're talking about, what their attitude is. And I heard more people praising the film than I did talking negatively about it. There was another couple that approached some other person, and the person was like, hey, what screening is this, guys? What did y'all just walk out of? Is this some special early screening? He was like, yeah, it's the Blackening. He was like, well, how was it? Man, I really had a good time, man. If you want to go see it when it comes out, just be prepared to laugh, okay? Just be prepared to have a good time and to be holding your stomach because it's going to be hurting. I was shocked. I was like, wow, did we see the same movie? Because I felt completely opposite of that. So I say all of that to say, guys, films are subjective. This movie was not for me, but it was for a lot of other people. So just because you're getting my opinion, you can use that to help if you want to gauge the film with your expectations. But again, always do what you want to do with your money. I'm not here to tell you how to spend it. I'm just here to tell you my opinion. And things that I just did not like about this film was, one, it just wasn't funny to me. I was not laughing until about the middle of this movie. That's where things did pick up, and I did start to chuckle a little bit and laugh here and there, but it took me a long time to get there. Another thing that I did not like about this movie is I felt that the 7 or 8 friends that we have on this journey, I didn't really feel like they was friends. I was saying to myself, why are y'all hanging out now? I don't really feel like y'all hung out in college with this Juneteenth reunion. And even if y'all did hang out, y'all are so different now, 10 years later, that you probably grew apart. And so I felt that the relationships they were trying to build, especially at the very beginning of the film, was false. It was fake. They were trying too hard. And with trying too hard, this is an all-black cast. So of course you're going to have the stereotypes thrown in, especially with this being a horror comedy. But I did not feel that either. I felt like all the black actors and actresses were trying too hard. They were trying to be black. They were trying to enforce their stereotypes. And it did not come across natural. It did not come across organic. And it was kind of cringy at some times too. I just like characters to be themselves, and I did not find them to be themselves at all. Also at the very beginning, I'll go back to kind of the goods. There's an actress by the name of Mayo. Her character's name was Shanika, and I'm not too familiar with her. Initially, I was a bit turned off by her character. I thought she was one of the biggest stereotypes, like the large, ghetto, over-sexualized woman. But I gotta be honest, by the middle of the movie, she ended up being my favorite character out of the whole thing. It was just something about her that I was like, I like her a lot. She has turned it around for me, and you know, she's just doing a good job. She feels like she's the realest out there. So I really did enjoy her character the most. And so I just had to give her some shine going back to the positives. Also, guys, I did not like the behavior in this film. The cast members were doing too many stupid things in your regular trope movies. We make fun of other groups because of the dumb stuff that they do in the films, but they were doing the same thing in this movie. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're missing the point of the whole movie. I want to, every time black people forever, we always saying, man, if we was in this movie, we would have did this. I would have did this. I would have did that. Grab the weapon, grab the gun, grab the knife, go this way, go that way. They're not doing it right. We would be here back to back. We would be sticking together, yada, 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 yada. We talk about that all the time, and they did not do that in this movie. And if they did, it was barely. And I was like, wait a minute, this is crazy. I'm not liking it. The writing in this movie did not take advantage of the opportunity of having a group of black people together in a real life horror moment that we make fun of making all the smart decisions. It would have been great if they would have been doing that, teaming up, making logical decisions, and still have trouble, still or in peril or in danger. That would have made it that more entertaining and funny as well. Again, things did get funny towards the end of the film, but it was just too many of the tropes that we make fun of the black people in this movie was still doing, and that was just a huge missed opportunity to me. I mean, they really could have been like, this could have been one of the best horror movies, horror comedy movies ever. And I'm not a stickler. I really do like the scary movies. I really do like spoof movies and stuff, but this movie was just not it for me. It just was not it. It came together towards the end and I was liking it, but the very beginning, the first half, the first 2/3 was just too bad for me to give this a positive rating. And I hate to say that because of course I want to support my people and I want them to win, but at the same time, I'm not gonna lie and I have to be honest. And I'll give my rating for this at the very end of this video, guys. But for now, that is just my opinion. And I want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you did enjoy this video, please go ahead and give me the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, helping me reach my next milestone of 50,000 subscribers. If you do subscribe, you're going to get a whole bunch of stuff like movie reviews, spoiler movie reviews, series reviews, a weekly movie news roundup show, weekly comic book superhero show, and also me recapping my favorite shows that are streaming right now, trailer reactions, and some interviews as well if I'm lucky. And guys, if I had to rate The Blackening out of a 1 out of 10, it falls right below passing at a 5.5 out of 10. Yes, a 5.5 out of 10. Go see it if you want to. I hope you have a good time like everybody else in my theater. But guys, again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.